Hello, my friend, and welcome to Secure Insecure, hosted by me, Johnny Seifert. This is the Celebrity Mental Health podcast that I say it's okay to not be okay. And if you have the same mantra as me, whether you're watching or listening, click that 5-star rating, click that subscribe button, and let's keep spreading the word. It's okay to not be okay. Now, let me tell you about my guest today. My guest today is a dear friend of mine who has worked with the likes of Bill Bailey, Ricky Tomlinson, Idris Elba, and Danny Dyer. But it is her relationship with Matt D'Angelo that made us fall in love with her, where nearly 20 years ago, she first came to
Oh,
Albert Square as Carly Wicks. Since then, she's acted in a plethora of shows, and you can see her back on your boxing Casualty as a mental health nurse, as well as where you get your podcast on with her new podcast, Drama Raw. So I'm so grateful she's found the time to talk to me whilst being a busy actor, writer, and of course, a mum. It's Kellie Shirley. Hello, Kel.
that was a nice intro. I'm loving the big ups.
Oh, you deserve it. I mean, you're the only person who gave me a Christmas card 2 years ago, and I've never forgotten. I've got it
Oh,
over there. Still got it on display because I've treasured it. I mean, it'll go on eBay one day, but you've got such a heart of gold that it was an honor to be able to talk to you today because it is a really big month for you with Casualty, with Raw, and just kind of you putting yourself out there again after being a mum and kind of stepping away from the fame side and just having a bit of time where you're like, I'm just Kelly Shirley, the home mum again.
yeah, it is important to kind of like have that balance. Otherwise, my kids are going to be in therapy themselves. I think I love work so much, and it's very easy to become a workaholic because I just love it. And you really have to hustle in this job. Being a mum is the best thing ever, and I feel very lucky that I've got, touch wood, 3 happy-ish, healthy children, and I love spending time with them. I think they're fun. Yeah, well, I had a baby last year, and he's just turned 15 months, and so starting Casualty when he so I've been filming for the past 8 months basically. And he was 6 months old when I started, 6-7 months old, and he was like a babe in arms, and I wouldn't have been able to do my job unless it wasn't for my mum and my mother-in-law. So I need to do a massive shout out to them, because it is hard, like, saying about work-life balance, and I wouldn't have been able to have done it without them. So just want to say thank you.
Well, is that
um
hard to kind of think about, like those formative years for him growing up, and that first year where most people are on maternity leave and going to the NCT classes, and you're having to go back into work?
and he's been spent on the train going up to Cardiff.
Well, that's the other problem of Casualty moving out there. It's not like it's around the corner, is it?
No, it has been a bit of an SAS mission, but it is beautiful, Cardiff. It is lovely, and it's been very nice just hanging out there and having half term with the twins and Ezra as well, and hanging out in Barry Island, pretending that I'm in Gavin and Stacey. I wish.
Or are you going to be in the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, Kelly? That's what
Oh,
everyone wants now. No.
I would absolutely love that. I'm putting it out there. My friend Mel, who plays Gwen, she's in my podcast. She's in Raw. She's bloody brilliant. She's so good. And we did Biff and Chip together. She played my mum in it. And so she's also been helping me with the baby, actually. It really takes a village, doesn't it? It's been great hanging out with her a little bit more.
Are you okay having that village though? Or are you like, I wish I could just do it all myself and I don't need to delegate to make everything work? Because it must be really hard to work out what I can control and also what I can't control.
So that is something, actually. I do have obviously the mum guilt if I'm working, because filming hours, you're in at 6:45, 7 o'clock makeup. You're on camera from 8 until 7. It is a long time if you're in every scene of the day. You want to see your baby and your kids. At least I've managed to put him to bed at night, which is something. And I'm not in every single day. It is constant guilt, without a doubt.
But when you're not filming, you still need to learn your lines. You still need to do your research. You still need to be kind of on the job. Even if we're not seeing you in
Oh
every
yeah.
scene, you're still always working. So how do you balance that when you're not having a filming date of going, right, now it's my lines time, now it's baby time, now it's just actually just having a bit of me time. That's not being a mum, and that's not being an actor, and it's not being a
I
writer
don't really
even.
get much of that, but actually, when I was saying that, I did go to DC recently to see one of my mates who lives out in Washington, just because I needed some time, just a couple of days. Well, it isn't a couple of days. It was 5 days with a couple of my really good mates, just to have a little bit of time, not being a mum, not being a actor, just being me, because it is difficult to remember, who you are sometimes, isn't it? If you're doing this, that, and the other all the time, and going back to London, being with the twins, going up to Cardiff, auditioning for this, and it was just like, oh, just need to be my mates and be in a vineyard.
And what
Having
did
a
you
good old
find out about
gossip.
yourself, apart from the fact that this is how drunk I can get, and I have got those, I can still drink. What did you learn about yourself of just having like, this is the real me? So yeah, I've got these jobs, and yeah, I've got the kids, but like, this is the authentic me that I'm actually being able to bring out these personalities of myself that I haven't seen in so long.
I just had a real good laugh. I mean, I do have a laugh with my kids though, saying that they make me howl as well. There's things that they come out with, and it's just too much sometimes. But having that adult connection, and being a bit naughty and a bit rude, and just people that know you really well, it's a different level, isn't it, when you're with your mates? It's a
You're in that
different
safe
feeling.
space.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about nappies, and you don't have to worry about your language. You don't have to worry about what you're saying. You're not on, mum watch. It was just what I needed, basically. And so now my husband's got a golden ticket because he was obviously looking after the three of them whilst I went and did that. And I booked it ages ago before I even got Casualty. And so yeah, it was like, oh no, I haven't really seen them very much, but I've already booked this time away with my mates. But actually it was all fine. And then they came up anyway, because it was only for, like I said, a few days, and then they came up to Cardiff anyway, and I was much better for it, basically, for having a break and just having a recharging my batteries. I think that's important, isn't it, to become a better version of yourself if you've had a bit of time away. Absence makes the heart grow fonder and all of that. My twins are 8, and so they read, and so I do say to them, God, if you go through my lines with me for Casualty, then I'll make sure that you can have whatever it is that they might want, like an ice pop or something silly. And so I kind of bribe my children to go through my lines with me.
Well, it's their reading. They're still practicing their reading out of
Is their
school.
reading?
You're very good. You
Some of the
found your
words
way.
that I have to say. Sometimes I wish I was back in Eastenders just so that I could hear, Louis and Pearl do their impressions of, I don't know, not Patsy Palmer. Yeah, Patsy Palmer's back in it, isn't she?
For now, yeah. So you want her
Oh,
to
for
do
now.
hold on. You've mentioned you wish you were back in Eastenders.
Oh, only so that my kids could do the impressions when they go through my life.
Kel, come off of it. When are you coming back to Eastenders? You've been out of there for about 13 years. It's nearly your 20-year anniversary. Matt D'Angelo came back this year. You didn't even come and help him. So what's going on?
I know. I would love to go in there and help Matt. And he's still in it, isn't he, at the moment, Dean?
Is he in it? I mean, he's in prison at the moment, but is he coming back? Is there something that you know that we don't know?
I haven't caught up with it for a little bit. I'm a bit behind. It's because it's always, bedtime, bath time routine is.
It goes out on the iPlayer at 6 a.m. every day, Monday to Thursday. You can watch it whenever you want on the BBC Iplayer. It's also where you can watch Casualty as well.
I'm working. I do dip in whenever Emma Barton's got a big storyline. I love seeing her stuff. Obviously, when Matt's got some juicy stuff to do, I do watch it for them. But it is hard to keep up. There's a lot of episodes, but I do love it.
Try watching classic EastEnders twice a day on drama, and then watching the day's episode from 2024 afterwards. That's 3 episodes a day.
What year are you up to with the vintage one?
We are actually, do you know, we're probably nearly at your arrival, because we're in October 2005 at the moment. So Johnny Allen's obviously the big character. Chrissy's nearly about to go down for murdering Dent. So that's kind of where we're up to. So it's nearly coming to Wicks time.
It is, because I recorded my first things December 2005, I think. In fact, I'm in on New Year's Day 2006. That's the first time I'm in the so maybe I was recording in October, because it's a 6 weeks grace, isn't there? I think.
So we're kind of probably, because there's 2 a week, 10 a week. Sorry, 2 episodes a day, 10 episodes a week. So we're probably only about 3 weeks away from your arrival.
Big things.
Well, how do you feel? Because you're going to get a lot of love in 3 weeks' time, and everyone goes, "Oh, look, it's Carly Wicks."
What, from you?
Well, yeah, that goes without saying, but everyone else as well, I presume, as well, will be going, "Oh my God, it's Carly Wicks now. She's joined the show." And like, you left 12 years ago, so you've distanced yourself. It's like any job. You do a job, you leave, you go away. But when it's a show like EastEnders or Corey or one of the soaps, and even Casualty, that's on every single week, people still have that alliance with you of that one show, even if you've got an amazing CV afterwards.
I know, it's funny, isn't it, that they're just, people love them so much, and because of that thing of them being on for 40 years, and you're in somebody's front room once, twice a week, 4 times a week sometimes, that it's a different feeling, and that it's strange. It's just a strange thing, isn't it? And you could be in a blockbuster movie, but people always want to talk about EastEnders. But then that just shows how epic the show is, isn't it?
But also, when you've done a show like EastEnders, and then you've had your time off doing other things, then to go into Casualty and do 2 long-running shows, which are massive machines, how do you feel about kind of going, oh, I could easily just stay here now, and this is my career for the rest of my life? You could do the Ian Beale and just stay, or go, look, I still want to be that jobbing actor, and that reason I got, and that buzz of, being at Brit School going, I can do everything, and I want to bring out all these different personalities, versus going, well, look, I could now just be Sophia, and I could do that for the rest of the time now, and that's absolutely fine.
That is it. You get comfortable with people writing for you all the time and having juicy storylines, if you're lucky, and obviously money coming in, and that's really important. As a mum of 3, and been in my early 40s, and worrying about, again, that balance. Am I gonna work again? This is really comfortable here, this is nice, and I like the people, but essentially variety is the spice of life as well, and I'm very ambitious still, and it's just deciding what is best, isn't it?
Talk to me about Sophia. Talk to me about, obviously she's a mental health nurse, but what is her actual character traits that we need to be focusing on for her?
She's a psychic liaison nurse, so she's at the top of her game in mental health. She's very down to earth, she's got a wicked sense of humour, she doesn't sit on the fence, she's just really, really good at her job. And obviously there's so much mental health, it's just rife, isn't it, because of all the cuts within government. I think it's important to shine a light on the fact that so many people do have mental health issues and are dealing with mental health issues, and so it's nice to be playing a part that is really feels really important. This is really, really like Barbie-ish of me, but I've got a really cool costume, and it's all pink. It's pink and purple, and I've got this. It is very Barbie, and I do love it. I do love wearing it. It's very flattering. So I was saying yesterday that the curtains in Resus and the rest of the ED are the same colour as my costume. So sometimes it's a bit like, where's Sophia? Like, where's Wally? You just can't quite see me. I'm just a floating head. It's quite funny. I'm interested to see what that's going to be like when it comes on screen on Saturday.
And what about your own mental health journey? How's your journey been through this? Because you've been acting for so long, all the way through your career, and it's up and down always in that industry.
It is up and down, and it is brutal as well, and it isn't always a nice place to be, the acting industry. But when you do get a nice job, and when you do meet lovely people, it makes it worth it. And it's about longevity. And even when you have shitty times, I always think it's all for the autobiography. Everything's momentary. It's going to be fine. I can come through this. Times when I've not been working, and that's been hard, obviously financially and creatively as well, because I need that fix. And I suppose that's why I started writing, really, because I just felt it was at that time of lockdown and just not getting that creative fix and feeling a bit lost. And as much as I was loving being with my kids, who were about 5 years old when we were doing lockdown, 4 or 5 years old, I needed to have that thing for me, for my mental health, and which is why I started writing Raw and start delving into some stuff of my childhood, and wanted to get it out in a cathartic and positive way. The acting industry's tough, and you have to be very thick-skinned, like, people say like a rhino, but I think mine's even thicker than that, because it is hard to get no after no after no after no, and still believe in yourself and pick yourself up. But even when you do have a job, and you know, and people not writing for you or whatever, and that's hard as well. And you're like, other people have much harder jobs than being an actor, getting your makeup done and wearing a pink costume, and you know, and you have to be realistic as well to what your life is.
But when it comes to Raw, you're doing really hard subjects. Is this almost a therapy for you to kind of go, look, these are all the thoughts I've had in my brain. Some things I've have experienced in my life, some things I've noticed in my life, and other things I just want to hit those topics that aren't being spoken about. And actually, I've got Casualty, which is all very fun and fluffy, and I actually want to do something that I'm challenging my brain to actually think about the impact that this podcast Raw could be making to people.
Yes, I do feel like it has been therapeutic, but it's also dredged up some stuff as well. But then I kind of wanted, you know, I kind of wanted it to a certain extent, because I really feel like from every bad experience, some good can come out of it. And maybe not necessarily, I mean, for you, and it can obviously do for you, but for other people. So with this, I was working alongside the charity, the Children's Society, and any money that could possibly be made, if hopefully people will listen to Raw. I mean, it's only 24-minute episodes. They're really easy, you know, it's not a big commitment. You can just do the dusting, clean the bathroom, and, you know, put some headphones on and listen. And it isn't completely dark. You know, obviously there is some subject matters that are challenging, but it's also got some humor to it, because that's how I've been brought up. And it's got some amazing actors in it. It's got Danny Dyer in it. He gave up his time to be part of it, and Lorraine Ashbourne, who's incredible, and Laura Checkley, and they're all actors who are very, very dry, very funny, very witty, and so they brought that to their performance, even in moments of real trauma. And it's been great. It's been really great for me to write it. And yeah, and any money that is made goes to the Children's Society, is what I was going to say. So it feels like some good is coming from it. And also, you know, to hopefully showcase me as a writer, because the older I get as an actress, you know, the parts do become a bit slimmer, unfortunately, as your looks go, as everything goes, you know, down south.
Well, a lot of Hollyoaks actors from kind of the mid-noughties have now gone back to Hollyoaks as a writer. Obviously, your experience is in soaps and continuing dramas. Yeah.
Who's done that?
Zoe Lister, and someone else did it recently. Who did it recently? One of the guys, I can't remember who it is. But would you write for a continuing dramas? Because that is your background, more or less. You know, if you think that solid time you've had at Eastenders, the solid time you got a Casualty, that if I went back to Eastenders now, I could write an episode quite easily, because I know how the characters work. I know what I'm doing. And also I get to use the writing based on the experiences that I've had.
The problem with me, though, is I would write Carly Wicks back in, and I would give myself like this amazing storyline, and they'd be like, it's Chris, isn't it? He's the head there, isn't it? He's the exec. I think he would be like, Kelly, it's just only Carly talks. Nobody else is talking.
Carly talks. Carly is in the Vic. She's taken it over, but also taken over the cafe. We see Carly in the Vic serving a drink, and then she walks across to the cafe, serves a bacon butty, and then goes to the laundrette to pick up her washing. Yeah, I can see that.
The end.
The end. You mentioned the Child's Society Trust that you're working with. You also work a lot with Anthony Nolan. And do you want to talk about that as well? Because I know that's a really important charity that you work with and that you are an ambassador for.
It sounds very grand, doesn't it, being an ambassador? I like it. So I've been an ambassador since I was in EastEnders. I was offered to run the marathon for them. This is back in 2008. In the middle of it all, I hate running. And was like, right, this is going to be a challenge, but I'm up for it. And basically that the person who was the head of press and PR invited me down to see how stem cells were extracted and put into somebody who has got blood cancer. So anti-Nolan is all about giving people a second chance of life who've got blood cancer. And I met people who are living with it, who are looking for donors, and 16 to 30 doesn't hurt or anything. You can become on the donors list just by spitting into a little tube, and then it collects your DNA, and then they know if you're compatible for somebody else. You don't even have to go for a blood test or anything. You just phone up Anti-Nolan, Or go online, just put into this little thing, and it'll just save. If you know, you can go on the database anyway, and you can literally save someone's life who's a stranger.
Amazing. Well, Kellie Shirley, we can see you on Casualty on the BBC Iplayer. We can also see you on Eastenders because they've put all the old episodes up. And on the
Oh
Drama
yes.
channel, very, very soon, we'll be able to see her every afternoon at 12:40 on the Drama channel. My absolute thanks to you, Kellie Shirley. If you love Eastenders like I do, on Skin and Skin, episodes of Sid Owen, Neil McDermott, and James Alexandru, to name a few. And as Kellie says, she's an ambassador for the Anti-Nonian Trust. And also, everything she's doing with Raw is amazing. Go and check out the podcast where you get your podcast from. And my absolute thanks to Kellie. If you enjoyed today's episode of Skin and Skin, give it a 5-star rating, click the subscribe button, and leave a review. Until next time, I'm Johnny Seifert. Thanks so much for watching or listening. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.